Okay, here is the next project. It's a set of stools, and I'm going to be doing them for the Unique Antique Challenge by Krystal at the Crafty Creech and DIY, and co-hosted by Twitch from Creep Designs by Twitch. The focus is bright and bold, so I'm going to see how bright and bold I can get these. And I've chosen a bunch of colors, and I'm going to do a mixture of colors, and let's see what I come up with. Hi, my name is Kat from Owling Dog. I love creative arts and restoring old furniture and other items. The time you spend watching this channel is appreciated. I hope you subscribe and like these videos, which helps circulate the content. Feel free to drop a comment. All of these are appreciated. Well, let's go see what's in the barn. So there's not a lot to do with them. They're a little bit scratched, nothing really bad. A few dings. I can fill in a few dings. So they don't need a lot, which is good. And I've been just kind of hanging on to them until I could actually dream up something to do with them. I think it's nice that they come as a set. I can tighten the legs a little bit, but it's not even too bad. So let's start by washing them up, and I'm going to do that off camera because you see me wash things down lots of times. I'll probably use a little bit of like a white lightning kind of thing, probably a little soap and water. Easy peasy. They've been here for a while, but it's, believe it or not, it's relatively clean in my barn. So let's do that now. Okay, all clean. So what I ended up doing with this was I used Dawn dishwashing liquid, 91% alcohol, and a little bit of water. So in the past, and I'll post the video right up above here. I'm going to try to go back and look and see which video it was. I did an example of how to prep your surface with denatured alcohol rather than sanding. So this wasn't denatured alcohol, but it doesn't really matter in this purpose. Number one, it's probably, so I don't even think it's pine. It feels like a hardwood of some sort. Some inexpensive wood. It's all wood. It's in pretty good shape. I am going to start with a bonding primer, but because of the alcohol and the soap, I don't have to sand it. So it depends on your surface. If you're lucky and you have the kind of wood that is relatively easy to prep, it's not likely to bleed, and it doesn't have too many dings in it. I could even do it without the primer, but I think I am going to do just one coat of primer before I do my painting. So, yep, they're all set. They weren't even really dirty. Like I said, they were in the barn. Nothing comes in here without it being cleaned anyway. I just need to clean things before I bring them in, just in case there's some kind of creature there. And sometimes they do sit for a while before they end up getting refinished, but for the most part, a little dust. And that's all. So, yep, here we go. So this morning, I'm going to sand down the few spots that I filled in and start painting the regular colors. And the colors that I chose were dictated by some decoupage paper that I'm going to put on the tops of the seats. So I took out my pile of decoupage paper. It's a kind of a big pile that I got a good deal on from Zazzle. And this is the pattern and the colors, so pretty. They don't show up as bright in my phone camera as they really are. It looks like a pale lime green here, and then a very hotter lime green right there. Very pretty. The blue looks to be pretty similar to the actual color. So yeah, let's do it. I'm going to cut it larger than I need. And there's a seam in this paper. Not sure if you can see it. I mean, these papers aren't perfect, so they have like a self seam. So I'm going to cut the paper in half. And I don't have enough in one half of a sheet of paper, so I'm going to use each half. And I'm going to use, I'm not going to have them exactly the same, I hope. I want them each to be a little bit different, so yeah. Let's bring it over to the stools and see how they I'm going to get something out to stand on. Okay, need the stool fingers. Just make sure I have enough room. Those 2 cups, yes. And so I have a chip brush and a little bit of water. That way when I'm done with my decoupage, I can just dip this in the water. I'll probably also just wet the tips just a little bit because it makes the decoupage dry a little faster. And I have Aleene's Premium Decoupage in Matte. This is great stuff and it's cheap. I get it at the Dollar Tree. So, yeah, I think that's it. Let's start right now. I'm going to stand on my stool so that I can get a good look at where my placement is here. Actually, I'm just going to wet the surface just a little bit. So I have this color. It's a, whoop, it was a mist tint, but it's a beautiful color, and I love that. So I'm going to use this, and I'm going to go for the blue. So we'll do a periwinkle blue and the green. So it's pretty dry, and I'm going to cut it a little closer to the edge. I'm still going to leave a little bit of room though, because I'm going to be sanding off the edge that is the the closest to the vertical side. So I want to be careful doing it. I don't want to just take a piece of sandpaper and sand right across there. Maybe you could do it, but I just don't trust myself. So I'm just kind of leaning the razor against the vertical edge. The first protective finish I'm using is spar urethane. It's a very tough hardening finish. I'm going to sand downwind from it. Later I'll use acrylic clear coat in matte, then I will put my decoupage medium over this, then more acrylic, then clear wax. It could be more than necessary, but a seat will get a lot of wear and tear, and I don't want my paper to degrade or fray. Okay, so that has to dry. Okay, so I have my colors. I mixed this blue, and I mixed this blue, like a navy blue. And then I have two different color greens, which are perfectly matching to this paper. And then I have my red. Now, I want to get these seats very secure before I do any painting on the sides or the legs. Right here, I'm just making sure that all of that paper frayed edge is removed. And I really want to make sure that it goes right over that edge. The decoupage medium is self-leveling, so you won't see any brush strokes once it's dry. The reason you can see my floor move when I'm changing position is because that floor is covered with metal sheets from the last, or one of the owners in the past, who used it as a place to fix race cars. And it's a good floor. I had to spray some rust spots on it, and it was pretty difficult to clean because of the oils from the car, but they move around a little bit. So you can see that I haven't been super careful here, going from one color to the next. That's okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do the different colors meeting together and a second coat the same way. And then the third time I'll go over them just on the seams and I'll do my blending. It has to be done really quickly. And yeah, it's not the kind of blend where you can just kind of take your time and do it. It'll be just a little bit tricky, but I'll show you when I get there. What I'm going to do now is paint all my colors. I'm going to do a green here, and I'm just going to go around. I'll grab the second chair and do the same thing, kind of basically follow the same pattern if I can, and yep, and then we'll catch up. I have the 4 colors on each side. There's 4 sides on each leg, in the 4 different colors, but each stool is the same pattern. thank you for watching this video. This week we participated in the Unique Antique Challenge with a bright and bold construct. It's presented by Krystal of the Crafty Creech and co-hosted by Twitch at Creep Designs by Twitch. I took a set of stools, wooden stools, and refinished them in several different colors. I added a decoupage paper on the top and did quite a bit of blending. Yeah, so let's take a closer look and I'll show you some of my challenges. Let's start with the challenge of the decoupage paper. This paper is more like a wallpaper than anything else, which makes it really hard to decoupage with. It has to be handled differently, where normally if I used a tissue decoupage or rice paper decoupage, I would put the gel underneath and directly over the paper after it's done. With this, you cannot, because if you put additional wet products over the paper while it's wet underneath, it will wrinkle. So there's that. So you have to prep it differently. This time I used some urethane. It's spar urethane, really hard, stinky stuff, but it's very protective. And I figured, you know, for wiping down the seats, you really need something like that, and especially if you're going to be sitting on it. So I think the colors are great. As far as that wasn't a challenge, I mixed half of my own colors and the other half I already had. This blend was very easy. It's dark blue to light blue, which is very nice. A little more challenging was this red to blue. Normally you would get a purple, but the red paint is not chalk paint. I'll tell you, I could have gone back and added some calcium carbonate to make it easier for myself, but I don't know why I didn't. I just assumed that my skill would make up for that, which it didn't. The red and the green, again, a very tricky blend. Not sure how good you can see that. But, so each chair has the same decoupage, of course, but the pattern is different to each. So a little different. And each of the four sides of the legs are painted with four different colors. There's a light blue, a dark blue, a red, and a green. And each chair, of course, has 3 legs, as you can see, and each chair is the same pattern from side to side on those legs. And I have these little puppy things underneath it because I'm actually outside, and I don't want to get their little feet dirty. Whoops, which I'm probably going to do that now. But anyway, yep, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope that you'll watch this one all the way through and also get to watch all the other challengers to see what they're bringing to the table. I'm sure you're going to see some really unbelievable things. So, yep, you can see how when you move around that they're actually the same. So even that was a little challenging as far as making sure I was doing the right color in the right place. So again, I hope you have a good rest of the weekend, and I want to wish you all good and beautiful things, and to stay tuned for some up-close photos. Thank you.